Hi students, hope you are doing well. So we are happy to consume our favorite foods. So it gives us pleasure. We love the aroma and happiness of texture of our favorite food, isn't it? At the same time, we are very much concerned about the health status of our body. Is there any relationship between food and health? Yes, of course. Here we are discussing the relation of food and health. The nutrients that is present in food, their functions, then health status and nutritional status are discussed here. Let us see what is food. Food is substances that nourishes our body and is fit to eat. It carry out so many functions, gives us energy, protect our body from diseases, building up of body muscles, etc. How the food carry out all these functions? Whether there are any substances present in our body to carry out these functions? Yes, these substances that present in food which carry out all these functions are known as nutrients. Nutrients are chemical substances that is present in our body to carry out our body functions. When we consume food, it is digested. With that, energy is liberated. Excess energy will be stored for future activities. The study of all these processes is known as nutrition. Systematic study of nutrients in our body is nutrition. Nutrients are substances that is present in our body which carry out all these functions, and these nutrients are carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, water, vitamins and minerals. Based on the requirement of our body, these nutrients are classified into two. They are macronutrients and micronutrients. What are macronutrients? Macro means large. Those nutrients which are required for our body process in large quantities are known as macronutrients. They are carbohydrate, lipids and proteins and water. Though water is not giving us any energy, its significance in our body functions make it macronutrient. Then what are micronutrients? Micronutrients are nutrients that is required for our body activities in small amount. Micro means small. They are vitamins and minerals. Let us discuss the functions of these nutrients one by one. Carbohydrates, as we all know, these are the staple food of our daily life. Different forms of carbohydrates are glucose, starch, fibers. They provide 4 kilocalories of energy. These carbohydrates in our body get digested and makes into simpler forms of glucose. This glucose, with the help of insulin, is converted to glycogen and stored in liver and muscles. If the insulin that is secreted by our pancreas is not sufficient, this glucose will remain in blood level as such. It will not be converted into glycogen. So our blood sugar will be increased, and this is the case with diabetic patient. So to be safe, our blood glucose level should be 100 gram per day. Apart from this, carbohydrates, if we consume excess sugar, it makes our dental problems. Dental caries may happen. Apart from that, excess glucose or excess sugar will be deposited in our body, which makes our body overweight and leads to obesity. Fibers are another forms of carbohydrate that helps to reduce lowering blood cholesterol level. Also, it prevents constipation. Dietary fibers also plays a vital role in human nutrition. So to be safe, we have to consume 40 gram per day dietary fiber include in our diet. It consists of leafy vegetables, oats, etc. Proteins are another macronutrient. that is made up of amino acids. Amino acids are of two types. They are essential amino acid, non-essential amino acid. Let us see what are essential amino acid. Essential amino acids are those amino acids that cannot be prepared by our body. Non-essential amino acids are those amino acids that can be prepared by our body. Proteins and amino acids together help us to maintain a good health. It helps to human growth and building up of new cells. A child become an adult after consuming proteins food. Our body cells are built up by proteinaceous food. So if proteins are not sufficient in our food, it affects our growth, which leads to protein energy malnutrition. So to be safe, we have to consume 1 gram per body weight of proteins food. It includes different types of pulses, nuts, milk, meat, etc. So the third type of macronutrients are lipids. Lipids, different forms are fat and oils. What is the difference between fat and oil? Fats are solid at room temperature, whereas oil is liquid at room temperature. Different types of fats are butter, lard, etc. The oils which we are consuming, sesame oil, groundnut oil are examples. So they provide 9 kilocalories of energy. So that is why I always recommend we have to restrict fat in our diet. They provide lot of energy and carrying out different body functions. They protect vital organs and maintain body temperature. They are made up of different types of fatty acid. Let us see what are they. They are saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. The saturated fatty acids are not good for our health. They increase as triglyceride levels in our body. They include palm oil and almost bakery products contain saturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fatty acids are good for our health. They are fish oil, soya oils, different types of products like that. So, a minimum level of saturated and unsaturated fatty acid levels should be maintained to keep our body healthy. For that, it is recommended 30% of the total kilocalories should be our lipid level. In that, 10% should be saturated. And different sources of fat include visible fat, invisible sources. What are visible and what are invisible sources of lipids? Visible source of lipids or fat include the oil and oil seeds which we usually consume. Invisible sources of fats are those when we prepare our food items like cake, biscuit, we are adding some amount of fat in that. They are the invisible sources of fat. When we consume excess amount of fat, it leads to obesity and it deposits our blood vessel and causes coronary diseases. So always restrict the amount of lipids in our diet. We all know water is an essential component of our body. There are extracellular and intracellular water present. Water carries out different functions like transportation of nutrients, help us to excrete waste as urine, then regulate the body temperature, etc. So to maintain healthy, we have to consume 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water, around 6 to 8 glasses of water. But during some occasions, due to diarrhea, vomiting, etc., our body get dehydrated. So this dehydration is mild. We have to take ORS, oral rehydration therapy, in our home itself. It includes plain lassi, tender coconut water, lemon water, etc. But if it is severe, if the dehydration is severe, we have to consult a doctor. If water is found excess in our body, it leads to a condition known as edema. Now we are move on to our micronutrients. Require only very small micro amounts for carrying out different functions. So first one is vitamins. So vitamin help for growth. It protect our body from different diseases. It regulate different body process. It helps to repair body from wear and tear. What are different types of vitamins? They are fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins will soluble in fat medium. They are vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Vitamin A is essential for our eyesight. Carrot, fish oil are good sources. Vitamin D, sunshine vitamin because its source is sunlight. It is associated with calcium synthesis and it helps to bone development of the body. Vitamin E is a natural antioxidant. Vitamin K helps blood clotting. When a wounds occur in our body, blood clot will be formed in the presence of vitamin K and calcium. So when we come to water-soluble vitamins, these vitamins will be lost upon processing. They include vitamin B complex and vitamin C. Vitamin B complex consists of 8 vitamins. In that, some of them help us to reduce anemia. It is known as anti-anemic vitamin. Vitamin C, it is also known as ascorbic acid, is a natural antioxidant. It helps to improve our immunity power. Citrus fruits are good sources of vitamin C. Then coming to minerals, they are in minor quantities help us to improve, protect our body and carrying out different functions. Based on the amount required for our body, they are classified as major minerals, minor minerals and trace elements. Major minerals require more than 100 mg for day-to-day activity. They are calcium, potassium, etc. Then minor minerals include less than 100 mg per day. They include iron, manganese, etc. Then trace elements require very trace amounts for the day-to-day activity of our body. They include iodine. Minerals helps into the various activities of bones, maintain acid-base balance of the body, enzyme system of the body and blood clotting. As we all know, hemoglobin contains iron. Our bone needs calcium, thyroid hormones need iodine, etc. Rich sources of minerals include fruits, vegetables, cereals, etc. So we found all the functions of macro and micronutrients. Here it gives the schematic representation of all the nutrients and the food sources. This gives schematic representation of nutrients and their food sources. Now we can summarize the functions of food as physiological, social and psychological. Physiological functions include giving us energy that we have already found. Carbohydrate, proteins and lipids gives us energy. Our voluntary and involuntary activities needs energy. Then proteins, building up of our cells, and it helps in growth and regulative activities. So body building functions are carried out by proteins, vitamins and nutrients present in the food. Then food gives us protective function. Vitamins, minerals, etc. will help to protect our body from diseases. Then regulatory functions. Different activities of our body will be regulated by that. It's a body respiration, our heartbeat, etc. will be controlled by the different components or nutrients present in our food. Maintenance and wear and tear of our body will be carried out by proteins, vitamins and minerals. So these are the physiological functions of our food. Then coming to the psychological function, food is also used to show our love, attention and security. A mother used to prepare payasam, sweets or cakes at the time of birthdays functions of his child. This shows her love towards her son. Apart from that, food also find function in social function also. Warmth and friendship can be expressed through sharing food. In marriage function, feast will be one of the important component. In religious functions, temple, church, mosque, wherever, Annadanam will be provided. And when you get promotion and all those things, you will be celebrated with your friends by different types of food celebrations. So all this shows social functions of food. We discussed all the functions of food and the nutrients, what are their functions, what it happens if it is excess and if it is deficient. So now we will be discussing what is health. As per WHO, World Health Organization, the definition of health is it is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. It is not merely the absence of diseases. So to be healthy, along with physical exercises, a person should consume balanced diet. What is a balanced diet? A diet that consists of all the nutrients in right proportion and right quantity for the day-to-day functioning of our body. So to get balanced diet, we have to include the food from cereals and grains, pulses and legumes, milk and meat products, fruits and vegetables, fat and sugars. So a person's daily food should include at any food time from these categories. So then we can meet balanced diet, or we can get all the nutrients required for our body functions. Even though we consume food in correct proportion, correct quantity, there may be a nutrient loss that occurs during cooking. How can we minimize this nutrient loss? We have to take care of certain tips. Before cutting, we used to wash the vegetables. So always wash the vegetables before cutting, because after cutting, when you wash the vegetables, it causes nutrient losses. Water soluble vitamins will be lost. Then when you cut the vegetables, you have to use a sharp stainless steel knife. Then when we cut the vegetables into larger portions instead of small portions. Cover the vessels when you cook the vegetables by using lid. This prevents heat labile vitamin loss. Then when you cook, if you can, you use pressure cooking. Then use minimal amount of liquid cooking. So these things will help to get a balanced diet for the normal functioning of our body. If the nutrition is not correct, then that state is known as malnutrition. Mal means faulty. So this leads to two conditions. One is undernutrition, other is overnutrition. Undernutrition means the nutrients are not reaching in correct quantity. It will be the nutrient availability is less than the required amount. It leads to underweight. It affects growth, health, behavior and brain development. So to overcome this, we can suggest high protein, moderate fat diet that gives high calorie. Opposite condition is if the nutrients are reaching in our body large quantity. That leads to a condition known as overnutrition. This leads to overweight and obesity. So how can we find out this, whether a person is of correct nutrition, correct weight, correct height? Yes, there is a relationship between our weight and height. That indicator is body mass index. It is also known as BMI. What is BMI? It is weight in kg divided by height in meter the whole square. For men, it should range in between 20 to 25. For women, it should be 19 to 24. If the values are below 19, it indicates undernutrition. If the values are above 25, it indicates overnutrition. For example, a person who is weighing 60 kg, height is 162 centimeter. What is his BMI? It is 20.62. It falls in this category. That means he is nutritionally okay. So what we can do for overnutrition? What is the food recommended for that? It is we have to take high fiber, high protein, low fat, low sugar. That gives us low calorie food. For example, we can take plain soups, vegetable juices, then salads without salad dressing, then oats which is rich in fibers. All this will help to reduce the weight. At the same time, we have to control by exercises. We have seen what is the health status and health that is recommended by balanced diet. So now we are coming to the nutritional status. What is nutritional status? The condition of health is influenced by the utilization of nutrients in the body. So when we consume right amount of nutrients in right quantity, our health will be maintained. So nutritional status of an individual can be assessed by measuring height, weight and symptoms of deficiency, etc. So good nutrition and health are related. Along with balanced diet, food should be prepared and served in hygienic condition. So the food handler should have basic knowledge of nutrition and hygiene to make the country healthy. So stay healthy and be safe. Thank you.